Next on Heisman Talk, all you need to know about off-season recruiting in the Big Ten. And here's your host, the Nathan Dog.
What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Heisman Talk. Today is part 2 of Big Ten recruiting. We'll be talking about the Big 10 West recruiting classes of 2020. This includes some notable teams such as Nebraska, Wisconsin, Purdue, Iowa, Minnesota, and last but not least, Northwestern. So, without further ado, let's jump right into it. First off, we have Nebraska coming off of a 5-7 season under Scott Frost. Scott Frost comes over from UCF. Impressive couple seasons there. One season included a 13-0 record and a win against Auburn in the Peach Bowl. Unfortunately, he hasn't been able to transition that success over to Nebraska, but give him some time. This is only his third year. Maybe he'll turn it around. Hopefully he'll turn it around. They're ranked number 20th in the nation in recruiting, number 4 in the Big Ten, and they bring in some notable freshmen. Turner Corcoran, offensive tackle, number 4 offensive tackle in the nation, 6'6", 280. This kid has an explosive first step, and he's so good at the run block. Every single play that I watched, he had a pancake, and I think he'll have the same result in college. I think give him a few months in the weight room, and he'll probably be up to 290, hopefully 300 by the end of the season. It'd be a pretty good size. So look for Turner to make an immediate impact for the Cornhuskers. Then we go to the other side of the ball. Henry Gray, the number 27 safety in the nation. 6 foot, 172. Super hard-hitting safety with great downhill speed. It's absolutely incredible to watch this kid play. Just so explosive. And honestly, he's going to be a great fit for Nebraska. Then we move down the list to Wisconsin. Wisconsin under Paul Chryst comes off of an impressive 10-4 season with a loss to Ohio State in the Big Ten Championship. It's kind of like one of those teams where they just can't get over the hump, just like Michigan. They just can't beat Ohio State, which is very unfortunate. They're always in the top 15. Hopefully they can get over that hump this year. They come off of a decent recruiting year. They end up number 25 in the nation, number 5 in the Big Ten, with some key signings. First off, they sign Jack Nelson, who's the number 10 offensive tackle in the nation, 6'7", 273. First thing that jumps out to me on tape with this kid is he gets up to the next level very quickly. Finishes as a defensive lineman off, and then he's off to the races to get the linebacker or the safety. This is a kid that plays into the whistle. He's going to give you everything he has. Look for Jack Nelson to be a key starter for Wisconsin this year. Then we go to the other side of the ball. Nick Herbig, number 9 outside linebacker in the nation, coming in at 6'2", 215 pounds. This kid is super strong, who reads plays very, very well. In fact, that's the most impressive thing that stood out to me on tape from this kid was his football IQ. He just gets it, you know. He just understands how to make plays, and look for him to be an immediate starter for the Badgers this season. Then we move down to Purdue. If you remember, Purdue was one of those teams that won the hearts of many last year and the year before with their kid Tyler, who sadly passed away from cancer. The team really seemed to rally around him. Really, the whole NCAA seemed to rally around him. And it was an amazing experience to see, you know, how much bigger life is in football as we can see now with everything going on in the world. We kind of just got the chance to step away and appreciate life as it is. However, they come off of an unimpressive 4-8 season last year under Jeff Brom. I think Jeff Brom is a standout guy, but I'm not sure if he's the right fit for Purdue. We'll see. Hopefully he can turn it around this year. They would come off ranked number 33 in the nation for the recruiting class of 2020, number 7 in the Big Ten. But they do bring in some really talented freshmen. First off, Malik Carr, number 4th tight end in the nation, coming in at 6'4", 230 pounds. Super, super strong kid. But the most impressive thing that I know about this kid, fun fact for y'all, he has signed to play both football and basketball at the University of Purdue, which in today's day and age is extremely hard to do. And I think it kind of teaches kids that, hey, you don't have to focus on one sport year-round to be successful. In fact, most multi-sport athletes are the ones that go pro. So that's something to keep in mind. But definitely look out for Malik Carr both on the field and on the court. I think he's going to be starting in both, honestly. Then the guy that'll be throwing passes to him most often will be Michael Alamo, number 12 pro-style quarterback in the nation, coming in at 6'4.5", 214 pounds. This kid is super impressive. Coming out of the state of New Jersey, he's the only quarterback in the state of New Jersey to make it to a Power 5 team, to a Power 5 school, which is really impressive. A couple things that jump out to me on tape are his tight spiral, and he's great on the play action. You know, a lot of guys in today's college football are really spread, no huddle offensive guys. This is a kid that can get up under center for you if need be, runs play action really well, knows how to fake the handoff and get outside and get it off to the receiver really quickly. Look for Michael Alamo to make an impact right away at Purdue. Don't be surprised if this kid's a starter freshman or sophomore year. Then we go down to Iowa, the Hawkeyes under Kirk Ferentz. This is a team for the past few years that has been really successful as far as records go. Coming off an impressive 10-3 season last year. Should have been in the Big 10 championship against Ohio State, but unfortunately they could not get past Wisconsin. Recruiting-wise, they haven't done the best, which is really surprising. They're consistently in the top 25, so you would think they would be able to recruit consistently as well. However, they finish off number 35 in the nation, number 8 in the Big 10. Not really sure what's going to happen, but they bring in some key freshmen. Let's take a look. First off, Gavin Williams, running back, number 37th running back in the nation. 6 foot, 195. This kid is very shifty for a big guy, but the most impressive attribute that I saw from this kid was his balance. He has great balance on the sidelines, has the ability to make guys miss, get upfield on the outside, and he's off to the races. Then we look at another guy, Elijah Yelverton, number 21 tight end in the nation. 6'5", 225, big-bodied kid with great hands, with impressive speed. This kid is pretty quick for a guy his size. So look for Elijah to make an impact right away. Then we go down to Minnesota, who's coached under P.J. Fleck. If you remember, P.J. Fleck was at Western Michigan when they went 12-1 a few years ago. And unlike most coaches from smaller schools who come to Power 5 conferences, P.J. Fleck has been very, very successful. This is a guy that led a Minnesota team who is struggling to get 6 or 7 wins a season to an 11-2 season last year. Obviously, they're not the best in recruiting, but I think they're climbing. I think they're making their way back up. They finished off 38th in the nation and number 9 in the Big 10. And I look for them to have another impressive season next year. This is a team that had great success, but again, they couldn't get past Wisconsin. Should have been in the Big 10 championship game. They bring in some key freshmen, including Kai Thomas, number 28th running back in the nation, 5'11", 205. Unlike most running backs that I look at on film that have great speed, great agility, super shifty, this is a kid that's just a power back, man. So powerful, can break so many tackles. I think in one play I watched him break 5 or 6 tackles before making it to the end zone. But not only is he strong, he's super quick in space. If he gets to the outside or if he breaks away, he's gone. So look for Kai Thomas. This is a kid that I think could be on your Heisman list very soon within the next 2 years. Then we go to the other side of the ball. Jaquandis Burns, outside linebacker, ranked number 39th in the nation for outside linebackers. Coming in at a solid 6'2", 210 pounds. This is a kid that's just super strong, super physical, and all-around great linebacker that you would like for your team. Super solid. Can't really say much more about this kid except for to watch out for him next year. And then last but not least, we go up north to Northwestern. Northwestern, under Pat Fitzgerald, has been a team that's had a little success in the past. I believe they were ranked in the top 25 a couple years ago. Unfortunately, they come off of a 3-9 season last year. You know, Northwestern is a school that's highly noted for bringing in super smart kids. I believe a few years ago I read that their quarterback had a 3.9 GPA in aerospace engineering while leading his team to a 8-win season. So, you know, that's really impressive. But can they bring in the talent? They bring in some pretty good talent on the offensive line. You can really see where they're going with this recruiting process. They bring in some key freshmen, including Peter Skoronsky, the number 3 offensive center in the nation, 6'4", 275, a straight bulldozer that plays to the whistle. This is a kid that's going to give you 120% every single play. This kid is just massive for a center. Most centers you look at, they're about 6'2", 6'3". Look for this kid to be starting next year. I promise you're going to hear his name. And then we look at Josh Preby, I think is how you pronounce his last name. Number 20 offensive guard in the nation. Coming in at a solid 6'5", 280. This guy really stands out to me compared to most offensive linemen. He gets lower than his defenders and he drives them into the ground. It's a technique that's so highly sought after in offensive linemen around the nation. Unfortunately, with how big some of these guys are getting, they have a harder time of bending their knees and getting lower than the defender. And really, with the defenders getting stronger too. However, this is a kid that reminds me so much of Michael Orr from The Blind Side. He's a guy that's going to drive that guy into the whistle blows, if not after the whistle blows, and gets a penalty for excessive blocking downfield. I love this kid. I think he is going to be another standout lineman for Northwestern, and I think he's going to make an immediate impact. It's obvious Northwestern wants to build their O-line, and they're doing just that. That's it for today's video. That's it for the Big Ten. Next episode, we'll be talking about the Big 12. It's going to be a special episode with a special surprise, so you won't want to miss out. Make sure to subscribe down below. And until next time, this is Nate Dogg signing off.
You've been watching Heisman Talk. Make sure to subscribe to stay up to date for the latest college football news from around the nation.